Joe Rogan has just revealed something major about what Katt Williams has been dealing with ever since he spoke out and exposed Diddy. And from the way he describes it, Katt is paying a heavy price just for telling the truth about people in power.
He said what?
Are you not afraid about being blackballed again? These are some power people.
What do you mean again? These people are not powerful. Satan can't create anything. That includes blessings for his people. That's why, you know what the #1 job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is?
What?
Is to act like it didn't happen. They all do the same job.
If I didn't have a God protecting me, I would be toast. These motherfuckers hate me. I thought they were just gonna laugh it off. They did not laugh it off. Hollywood was so mad at me, I went back and watched the Shannon Sharp interview myself. What did he say? He did it 4 years. Say that again. Taking 27 asses.
When Joe started talking about Katt Williams, he didn't hold anything back. He said he's heard things from people in the industry, and if those stories are true, the situation is far worse than most realize. According to Joe, the moment anyone starts digging into powerful figures, information suddenly becomes almost impossible to trace. Records disappear, files vanish, and anyone who tries to speak up quietly gets removed from the conversation.
I had conversations with people about it, and it's like, Jesus, like just trying to get the documents, like when they're trying to get the Epstein files, like they're the state of New York. One of the district attorneys was they were hiding documents. They had to force them to give documents. I think there's so many powerful people that are on those lists. There's so many powerful people that went and partied. Air quotes, partied. And how many of them went to the...
That's why Joe believes Katt went through so much chaos after calling certain people out. He said there were too many major names tied to those circles. Nobody wanted a comedian exposing the wrong person, especially someone like Diddy, who was always surrounded by celebrities, politicians, and industry giants at his events. Joe put it bluntly, everyone knew what was going on at those parties, but now they're all pretending it never happened.
You know, how many guys were on video saying, ain't no party like a Diddy party? How many people like openly talked about being there?
LeBron?
Yeah, how about Ashton Kutcher? All these people. Like, you guys all went, you didn't see nothing? You didn't see nothing?
Yeah.
Donnell.
Donnell went? Yeah. Did he? Of course he did.
Donnell trying to defend himself.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Is he trying to defend himself right now?
It's pretty funny.
I gotta call him up. Donnell, you gotta back away from that.
Isn't there a video with Kamala?
She was at one of the Diddy parties?
Isn't she in the background with...
It might have been the difference between Diddy parties and freak-offs. Oh my
They're giving him
God.
shit too because he's sitting in his little...
Oh, the guy from Chappelle Show?
Yeah.
And then Dave's there too, and then Russell Simmons too. Oh boy. But is that at a party, or is that just a group of them together?
They were like on a yacht or something like that.
Okay, but that's not the Diddy
No,
party.
yeah, it's not like they were like kind of...
I think
You think Diddy was rogue, or Diddy was like a Epstein type?
that's
working for somebody.
That's a good question. Well, it would be a great way to compromise celebrity.
Joe also pointed out that Katt was one of the very few who had the courage to speak up early. While most celebrities posed for photos and acted like everything was normal, Katt was the one saying something felt wrong. And right after that, things began to change. He started getting arrested for minor issues, banned from events, and portrayed in the media as unstable.
Why did he get blackballed? Oh, somebody come.
Joe believes that was no coincidence. When powerful people feel threatened, they don't come after you publicly. They apply pressure quietly. Suddenly, your calls stop getting returned. Opportunities disappear. Your reputation gets damaged. And Joe strongly suggests that this is exactly what happened to Katt after he mentioned Diddy's name. And here's where it gets even more serious. Jaguar Wright has claimed that the threats were so intense that Katt had to wear Kevlar inside his own home for protection.
Interesting.
Go ahead.
It's Katt Williams that taught me how to be Jaguar Wright.
Oh, wow. Okay. What was it about him that you kind of say, ooh?
10-10. He was my 30th birthday present. Almost 17 years ago. I'll never forget when he walked into the club and I was sitting at my table. It's my birthday party. And Special Ed brought him.
Shout out Special.
And me and Ed were celebrating our birthdays that year for the Taurus Affair that we used to do in Miami Beach every year. And Katt was playing the amphitheater and he wanted to meet me. And he came to my party, gave me about 20 grand in cash and said, consider it a down payment on your time. And Moni Love was there. Cousin Sonny was there. Imrel was outside smoking a blunt, so she missed the infamous picture with all of us together with Katt. And me and him sitting next to each other, two hats on, two cats in the hat.
Yeah.
And he taught me so much in 9 months. Walking away was hard, but it was when the Illuminati first started coming after him. And I'll never forget the day when they breached the house. And I left. You know, back in that moment, Katt was still wearing Kevlar to bed. To bed.
And Diddy, according to her, was one of the people involved in promoting that kind of intimidation.
What was it about that and him at the moment where it made you want to speak your
He
truth?
went after Comedy Central. That's what happened. The Flavor Flav roast. The moment that I knew the Snoop Dogg is sold out. That was a hurtful moment. I was always grateful to Snoop for taking Corrupt under his wing. Ricky was in a lot of trouble in Philly. If he hadn't signed a dog pen, I don't even know if he would have been alive. I've always been grateful to Snoop for that. Ricky, my brother. Oh.
That's real. That is real. So let me, go ahead.
They wanted Katt to humiliate Flav. Like humiliate him. Like no holds barred. And they sent a bunch of jokes. And I'll never forget watching Katt in the office downstairs at the house in Marina Del Rey. And he's sitting there looking at the script and just shaking his head. And then the next thing you know, the phone rang and I'm standing there in the office in the doorway and I'm like, are you all right? And he picked up the phone and it was on Comedy Central. And I listened to him threatening him. He said, I'm not doing this. You are not going to get a black man, a real black man, to agree to do this to another black man. Dollars. It was a terrible day. And then that's when all the incidents started happening. Them sending people to the house. Them putting plants backstage at the shows. I mean, I was on tour with him for American Hustle.
Right.
I was on set for First Sunday.
Jaguar also said there were more issues happening behind the curtain. Unexpected visits to Katt's home, sudden changes to projects he was supposed to work on, and other performers stepping in after he refused to comply. She said this wasn't random at all. It was calculated, and the timing always lined up with the same high-profile individuals, many of whom had direct connections to Diddy.
And Katt said on Shay Shay that it seems like everybody missed, especially now, was that the biggest job of people in the Shluminati is to pretend like none of it's real, to pretend like none of it happens, to keep the secret, to make it all seem like, oh no, that's not happening, that's not happening, that's not happening. Isn't that exactly what's happening now? HSI runs up onto multiple properties, and they collected all kinds of things that never made it to that courtroom, did it? Not one mention of a firearm, not one mention, even though some of the testimony said that he carried firearm. The way Kid Cudi's car, the way that whole situation happened, I mean, it was on court document. People were sitting there talking about it, and they still trying to act like that never happened. Everybody keeps trying to rewrite history. But if Katt can sit down on Shay Shay and say all the things that he said, if I can sit here on this couch and share with y'all all of the things that I've shared with y'all, if Natanya Rubin can come forward and talk about how she was powed in the face the night that Shine was there, the night that J-Lo threw the firearm out the window, like if all of the, you know, if Gene Deal can say the things that he has said, if all of the people that can come forward and say all of these things and understand this, we ain't a group of friends. We're all not a group of friends.
Right.
We're all different people whose paths have crossed throughout the years for one reason or another, who have very similar information all regarding the same kinds of people. Correct?
Correct.
And tell me something, how am I a liar when I say everybody know about it? See, that's the problem. Everybody's still trying to pretend like they didn't know about it. Everybody's still sitting there trying to pretend like this ain't all common.
What most people didn't realize at the time was that Katt wasn't just telling jokes. He was revealing things that were never meant to be said publicly. And once Diddy's name was brought into the conversation, the backlash intensified quickly.
50 million. Now just to protect my integrity,
to be gay in Hollywood, you never expected. They be having these big mansion parties, and the mansion party, the whole mansion is a party, and then it's a separate party in the little rooms. I ain't been famous that goddamn long. I'm excited in a mother to be at the mansion party. You be looking at all the goddamn rooms, and you around and look in the wrong room. Here.
Why you think I speak with such clarity? I'm actually involved in each one of these stories I told you.
Jaguar believes Katt's career was hit again and again because he spoke the truth before the world was ready to hear it. She said she waited nearly 10 years for the day Katt would finally speak openly about people like Diddy, like he did during his appearance on Club Shay Shay.
The moment he went on Club Shay Shay and did what he did, that's the Katt you expected.
That's the moment I've been waiting for 10 years.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay.
And I'm so grateful that I was there kicking in that door so he could just blow it down.
Oh. That's it.
There's an effort. I'm surprised people ain't catching on yet. I'm never loud when Kanye's loud. Gene Deal's never loud when I'm loud. But if we're running in tandem, somehow everything that we're saying, even though we don't speak, is always corroborating each other.
Mm-hmm. No. That's right.
I can't wait. I can't wait for everybody to find out what's really been going on in the background. It's just not yet.
Are we in the era of truth now?
Absolutely.
You know,
Everything that is about to happen this year is intentional, and it has been in the making for over 10 years now. I promise you this.
oh,
And Ye has not had his aha moment yet. You can doubt us all, but the one thing you cannot deny, we are all Hebrew, we are all gifted, and we are all fearless.
And speaking of Diddy, there have been some notable updates about him in prison. TMZ recently showed footage of him at Fort Dix, living like any regular inmate, with no special treatment, no entourage, just Diddy reporting to his job at the Chapel Library wearing standard prison clothing and a plain jacket. He appeared tired, older, and very different from the image he once projected. They showed him pushing a TV cart, passing out DVDs, recommending books, and helping inmates find religious material.
Is the answer. He's the guy to go to because we got video of him at Fort Dix reporting for work in the library, where he is making recommendations and handing out different movies and books for his fellow inmates.
I'm really fascinated just by the library
But
itself.
you're seeing him here. This is him reporting to work, taking off his jacket, taking off his scarf, and settling in for a day on the job.
It looks like a public school library.
Yeah.
It's
This was the chapel, and this is the media library in the chapel, which is where Diddy's currently working. He's working in a Life Connections program, which is an 18-month program that helps rehab people and get them closer to spirituality, to charity groups, and with that, it will shorten his sentence. But in this media library, he helps inmates with religious material, rent out movies, that kind of stuff. You see him pushing a
really
cart
interesting.
with a TV on it.
Yeah, I mean, he was in the laundry room when he first got there.
Yeah,
this got to be
his first
This got to be a promotion.
Yeah.
It feels like a promotion. It feels like maybe he tried the laundry room and put in a request for something different.
Yeah, it does.
He is a
it does
media
sound like
mogul.
he used maybe possibly some connections to.
But the strange thing was how calm and relaxed he looked, almost comfortable, as if none of it was real, or maybe as if he expected this to pass soon. But that may not happen quickly, because there's now a new twist in his legal situation that's drawing attention. Diddy is already serving time after being found guilty of violating the Mann Act, and now a music producer who had previously filed a civil case has stepped forward again, this time filing an official police report over an incident he says took place in Los Angeles in 2020. This is separate from the Santa Monica incident in 2021, where he claimed he was confronted and called a snitch.
Here's what we know. The new allegations of sexual assault against Sean Diddy Combs come from a music producer who went to police in Florida, but the alleged crimes happened in Los Angeles. Jonathan Hay is his name. That's the person who filed the complaint, and he's one of the John Does that filed a civil lawsuit against Combs in July. The first alleged incident was in September of 2020 in LA. Hay alleging that Combs performed sex acts in front of him and asked for oral sex. In a second incident in 2021, Hay claims that CJ Wallace, the son of the rapper Notorious B.I.G., took him to a location where two men put something over his head, he says, before Combs forced himself on Hay several times. Combs is currently serving out a sentence in Fort Dix, New Jersey, following his conviction earlier this year on two prostitution-related charges. Combs' representatives have not yet responded.
That same producer is also involved in a separate dispute with CJ, the son of the late Biggie Smalls. CJ responded by filing a counterclaim, saying the allegations are false and were made only because they chose not to work with him on music projects. As with all police reports, investigators must look into it, but that doesn't mean anything has been proven yet. At this phase, they're simply reviewing the details. However, Jonathan Hay has publicly claimed for a long time that Diddy followed a repeated pattern of SA.
See like the floor and stuff under my eyes. They push me back into this room, and like there's this like ottoman. I fall in the back of the chair, and then Diddy's comes in, and I could hear his voice. I could see his feet, and I'm like trying to look up, through these little cracks, like what's going on. He's like, you know, you don't deserve Biggie Smalls. You don't deserve, to be with the Biggie estate. He's just going on and on and on and on and on, right? And, like sitting there, like tripped out because I was in a home invasion, 2 years prior to that.
Right.
And next thing you know, Diddy is like putting his in my mouth, and I'm like, he's grabbing my head, and he's like grabbing the back of my head and like my face type shit. And I thought for sure that I was gonna die at that point because he was angry and yelling, and after all that like ended, CJ and Willie come in the room, and I could tell that CJ was surprised, maybe. I don't know, but he obviously set it up, and then he was like, bro, just smoke this blunt. And like, I just had Diddy's doing his share a blunt, right? Like, I was like, bro, I just want to go. I want to go. And they drive me back to my hotel, and that was it. That was the last that
On TMZ Live, one attorney said many people stayed silent for years because of Diddy's influence in the entertainment world. Others argue it's too soon to draw conclusions. For now, it's up to investigators and the courts to decide whether this claim leads to charges, gets dismissed, or moves ahead legally. Meanwhile, Diddy may have an even bigger issue to deal with because 50 Cent just dropped a major announcement. Netflix has released the teaser and summary for 50 Cent's new documentary series, The Reckoning, which dives into Diddy's rise, his power in the music industry, and the legal problems that eventually surrounded him. All 4 episodes will be streaming on December 2nd. The online reaction has been intense, with people like DJ Academics questioning whether 50 should even be making something this bold.
50, I'm not even gonna lie to you, I thought he was trolling, because I do think 50 is a guy to kick you when you're down, and Diddy did seem like he was down for a long time. Pause. And I thought 50 was just trying to kick his back in. It was clear that 50 wanted him to go to jail for a lengthy time, maybe for the rest of his life. And I've said personally, I really think that 50 wanted him to go to jail because he was baby moms. You get what I'm saying? And that's what that is. However, it looks like 50 wasn't playing around when he had announced from back in the day that, he was going to create at that time he called it the Diddy Do It doc. And he said he was going to do it, and all pun intended, he said he was going to do the doc and put it out with Netflix, and it appears that he wasn't capping. Netflix has actually put out a press release. Variety and other outlets picked it up, and they have announced that there is a release date, December 2nd, which is the Netflix documentary series from the executive producer, Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, and it is called Sean Combs' The Reckoning. It's going to only be on Netflix, and yes, 50 is the executive producer. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. This is a huge power move by 50. Now, I love 50, so we're not going to get into certain stuff, but 50 doesn't have the cleanest history. Sometimes I feel like when they go for these type of docs, the Surviving R. Kellys, they go for the most woke person to present the doc because you kind of need somebody to soapbox. With all due respect, I'm not saying 50 had freak-offs and shit like that, but 50 is 50 Cent, bro. You know what I mean? It's like 50 Cent isn't the most model human being. Not saying he's been accused or he does stuff that Diddy does, but 50 is.
The series traces Diddy's entire journey, from founding Bad Boy Records and guiding artists like the notorious B.I.G. and Danity Kane, to the lawsuits and criminal convictions that ultimately halted his career. Who do you think might appear in this documentary? Are there any surprising names you're expecting? Share your thoughts in the comments. That wraps it up for today. Thanks for watching. If you want more deep dives like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you never miss an update. This is Taylor Tells All, and we're just getting started. Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read them all, and your voice matters here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.